Hi everyone, and welcome back to a music reaction video. I appreciate you stopping by. And today the song I'm going to check out is Nile's Cast Down the Heretic. And I think this song randomly appeared in my YouTube recommended one day, and I want to check it out. I know Nile's one of the premier tech death bands. I've heard a few of their songs before, actually. I think, I can't remember them that well, but I think one of my favorite one is the one where it's like they have the super long titles, so it's something like Papyrus Containing the Spell or something like that. That is a pretty nice song. But I know they have really good chops when it comes to guitar skills and really technical drumming and just technical playing overall from everyone in the band. So looking forward to this one. I haven't heard much from Now before actually, so I do want to check out some more of their catalog. And we're gonna start today with Cast Down the Heretic. So in the words of Jeff Walker,
let's rock.
that's a fast riff, man. That double kick, wow. Ooh, I like that riff. Man, I don't know how many songs they must play live in their set, but I'm assuming like most of their songs are like this, at least from what I've heard before. Like these super fast and technical riffs with so many notes. I don't know how many songs they play in their live set, but if they play like a bunch of songs like this over and over in their live sets, I can't imagine like how they manage to get that wrist strength and wrist stamina and kind of like finger stamina as well to be able to play these songs. Because wow, this just hearing this alone, just when I imagine like trying to play something like this on guitar, it just makes my fingers like feel like they're tired already, you know? And this is crazy. Pinch harmonics. It's like an unstoppable onslaught. Little drum break right there. A little drum break right there to give the rest of the player a little time to rest, just for like a second. But wow, this is like so fast. There's not been like a single slow section of the song so far. Ooh, I like that riff. And solo time maybe? Okay. Wow, I wasn't sure if I was gonna be able to pause for the rest of the song because that was a much longer solo section than I ever thought it was gonna go on for, but I can't say I complained. It kind of reminds me a little bit of like the end of Dead Skin Mask for Slayer. The guitarist in Slayer kind of just trade back and forth solos of like kind of very chaotic solos and then more melodic solos. Of course, this is much more technical than Slayer solos, but either way, it kind of gave me that vibe where you kind of have this trade off between like really chaotic. I heard some whammy bar in there, and then you also have like shreddy but also melodic solos and sweep picking as well. So I want to listen to that from the beginning, also from the transition. I really like the transition into that solo too. So let's go ahead and listen to that. That was a good like half of the song, by the way, of just soloing. I was like, when is this gonna end? But it sounded pretty nice, and then there's a decent amount of variety of guitar techniques in there as well. So I just want to go ahead and point those out too. Right here, the transition. That is played really cleanly on the fast notes. And yeah, definitely some sweep picking right there, nice sweep picking arpeggios. And then here, I think we hear right after the sweep picking, you get some whammy bar, which kind of reminds me of the tracing guitar solos back and forth. I'm not sure actually how many guitars they have in Nile. I'm going to assume there's two, and I'm guessing both of them play lead, possibly. But I'm guessing the guitarists are trading styles here because the guitar tone kind of changes a little bit, and then the techniques also kind of change, or like the songwriting. You go from like a sweep picking, melodic sweep picking kind of section to like a whammy bar kind of a whammy bar dive bobbing kind of section right afterwards. Wow, that is so fast. It's like Flight of the Bumblebee fast. Sounds like some sweeping again. This kind of reminds me of a more technical guitar solo from Slayer section. A lot slower too. But wow, that rhythm section is crazy too. I'm not sure what specific scale they're using here, but I know in Nile's music a lot, they kind of use this kind of like Middle Eastern or Egyptian. I know in kind of in Thai with the band name and also their kind of lyrical content, they use a lot of like Egyptian kind of themes or like ancient Egypt kind of mythology kind of themes. And I feel like some of the scales that they use in their solos as well also kind of reminisce of that like Middle Eastern kind of feel or scale or kind of Egyptian kind of scales that you would hear from that kind of culture. Let me know if you guys hear that as well, but that's kind of what I hear from this part right here with the kind of dual guitar harmony. It kind of reminds me of scales they might use in the Middle East or Africa. Um, and when you hear those kind of scales, you kind of immediately think of that region too. So let's listen to that again. That is played so cleanly, that solo, wow. That pinch tremolo right down. Really fast sweeping right here. There's some crazy sweeps. Kind of feels like a post-solo breakdown right here. Oh wow, those vocals sound ethereal. I want to hear those vocals again. I wonder how they did that. Is that the main vocalist doing those vocals as well, or someone else? Or some kind of effect they put on his voice, because they sound like so ethereal, like ghostly or ghastly. That is such a low like vocal register too when you hear those like really low vocals in the back. Oh, it ended already. Wow, that was a full balls to the wall death metal song. Not just death metal, I mean a technical death metal song. But wow. I feel like there's only one, well, actually one slow section in there when you think about the rhythm. Of course, not this. There are some slow sections in the solos, but think about the rhythm. There was really only one slow section in there, which was the post solo section, the little breakdown, which was amply heavy. So I appreciate that. But other than that, it was just like full on balls to the wall, just like technical death metal, a barrage of notes in every single section. I don't know how they managed to play songs like this throughout an entire live set, but respect, honestly. Yeah. I think when it comes to tech death, Nile is definitely one of those bands that kind of have like an iconic status in tech death. Maybe they kind of took up the tech death mantle for a while after Necrophagus dissolved after their two albums. I'm not sure. But I know they kind of have a legendary status among tech death fans. So um, another thing I like about this band, which I might kind of mentioned before, they kind of have this overall theme of like Egyptian influence in their music, not just the album covers and the band name and the overall lyrical content, but also in their actual musicality. Like they use like scales that sound like they came from Egypt or ancient Egypt or that general area. And that's definitely something I respect, that the fact that they're able to stay consistent within not only in their overall lyrics and band theme, but also in their songwriting as well. So that's something I really respect from Nile too. Yeah, if you guys have any more Nile suggestions, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. And I appreciate watching this video.